working every day for Pesta Boneka. So it's like,
You still have other performance going on.
yeah, of
Stuff
course,
like
other projects and all the people still do their own other work. So it's not like professionally only working for the festival.
But they are all theater people?
No, not
Not
all.
really.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
I see that like the TD has to be, right?
The technical director, he works a lot with lots of events, and he's also the one of programmer of Arjok, one of the biggest festival, art festival, like I can say, like mostly visual arts, but also he program a performing arts section in that festival. So yeah, but Meda is working as a social media specialist. Yeah, so each person,
Yeah, I see the
like Dita
publication is
and
very.
Rere, they are actually also do as yeah, they hold lots of events, festivals in Jogja as well. So not just only our festival.
So how are you going to pay these professionals?
It's basically, again, like I've told you. I mean, it's not. It
What
needs to
project
be a
base?
passionate thing. It's not because all of us have our own jobs as well. Like I mean, us as Paper Moon, we have our own thing and fees for our work. But the others, I mean, we always say that the festival is the way that we always spend the money.
Yeah.
It's not a way that we get the money from. So it is like a service for us as an artist to give back to the community in a way. So for example, like the ticket price is very cheap. Like you see a international production, it's just only cost 55,000 rupiah. Maybe it's less than $5.
the one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it's even cheaper than your Go Food or whatever. Like but it's still here. I think people get used to have a free access for arts. So we are still trying. I mean, it's
It takes time.
yeah, it takes time, and we have to be patient. But it's yeah, it's
Is
a
it-
long way to go. But it's fun to
So
try.
is there
try.
any other theater here? I mean, not wayang, but like contemporary theater in Georgia.
There are some, yeah, but it's not a
Dance,
lot.
drama.
Yeah. There are, but not really a lot. I think the audience development is still ongoing as well with that part. I think for Paper Moon, we're quite lucky because we've been working a lot about audience development. So looking at the festival and how many people come, it's just like, wow, this is so special for us. Yeah, some of the art form they might like, especially like dance or theater. I'm not sure. I couldn't speak for
Okay.
them, like because I don't know their own struggles. But for us, we found it's very nice to see how people are really give their reaction to this festival.
Is Paper Moon the only contemporary puppet theater in
I
Jakarta?
can I cannot say the only, but maybe we are the first that see this as a profession, and we're the yeah. I think that's what I can say. There might I mean there are lots of I mean not a lot, but a couple of artists that are doing like traditional puppets, but they also would love to explore further for a contemporary one, for example. But as a company, like
Or
we're
like that.
thinking that this is our profession, and we're doing it every single day. Like we have studio that we go there every single day, we work there every day, and I think not a lot of yeah I
It's like
don't
the chamber music thing. Like yesterday, they are also combining music,
and
classical music, and
puppetry
puppetry.
and Goni Puppet Theater. There is another one, Kahanani. Here we have in Jogja itself for this festival. I think there are for this time we have Goni Puppet Theater, Kahanani Project, Chamber Music, and Flying Balloon. They're not performing, but they're actually helping us. Meda is Flying Balloon member, so
I
yeah.
thought he's yours member.
No. Ranga is also from Flying Balloon. So yeah, so we asked them to help.
It's a
So
very nice atmosphere here. Very nice.
Yeah, we try because we found that maybe in another art forms there are plenty of competition in a way that I always say like why are these people not let the grass grow, because sometimes before they grow the others already cut it by giving critique even before they started, like let them do it. So what we would love to do is actually, I think, by holding hands together and like like supporting each other, maybe the land will, maybe the grass will grow. We'll see. Maybe later we will need to cut it and shape it, but then let it grow first. Like so that's what we have thoughts for now. Yeah.
So how many shows do you have here in the festival?
This time, I forgot how many, but we have 33 groups and individuals from 25 countries this year.
23.
Yeah, so it's around
Some
100
group and
and
25.
individuals maybe. So maybe it's around 128 artists, 30, 33 groups and individual means some of the performer are individual, not in a group,
Uh,
from 25 countries.
mm,
So it is the biggest that we ever did.
mhm. How many tickets were available to sell?
Well, I don't know. Actually, Rere is the one who knows about it.
But you didn't count the seats, right? So yeah.
Some of them we count the seats. For example, like the pool theater, we supposed to have like maybe 300s
Uh-huh.
audiences for that one. Balai theater is maybe 120. Ule
Okay.
theater is 100.
Okay. So do you know the whole budget of of the festival?
The whole budget,
Yeah.
I do.
How much is it?
How much is that? One, wow, 1 billion rupiah, I think. So how much is that? I'm not sure.
One
Yeah,
1 billion rupiah.
rupiah.
即係幾多個零 How much zero?
How much? How many zeros?
How many?
So many zero. Yeah, we have lots of zero. It's not, it's far away from maybe another, because I think the idea was, for example, like the light, it's of course it's not, this is a friendship
Uh-huh.
cost of making a festival.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I can,
understand.
right? If you see like, what, this is so cheap, because now you host these people for 5
It-
days.
It's like 50萬葡幣
Do is it? Or
One
like,
billion.
can you show the
1 billion rupiah
睇唔
to
到嘅咁樣？你反俾佢睇。
one billion rupiah to
Yes.
MOP is Macau dollar.
Yeah.
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 因為幾多個人？三組零。咦，
So-
三組零。
90.
Okay.
It's a super mega cheap
Mhm.
for making a festival like this, and it's because we got supported by, of course, many things, right? I mean, the lights, for example. If we move this festival with this scale to other cities, maybe it triple or
Yeah. And you
triple the
provide
price.
also food.
Yeah, food, but also like technical stuff like those
Yeah,
lights
yeah.
and
That's more
sound
important.
system.
It's more expensive.
It's just like you go other places and they will charge it like you're doing a concert for 1,000 people, and now you just perform for 100 people only. Like, so
Yeah.
that's also what I found very tricky to make a festival, especially in Indonesia where we don't have facilities for theater. Like, you don't have, I mean, we do have art centers, or you can say Taman Budaya is like an art center, but those spaces are huge, like what? Like, and it's not doable. It's not sustainable for smaller performances as well. So that's why we choose this area. We choose this space because we prefer to do a little magic here and there, rather than work with a theater space. But of course, like not with a right rigging system, no lightings. It's crazy because yeah, it's interesting. We imported theater from abroad, from western part, and we don't have the system here, and it's very tricky when I mean, those people from abroad that they got in used to with the, like that proper system, and when they came here, like, what? I'm performing in a swimming pool, like that is interesting. But what I found also very, humble was actually the understanding of these artists that they choose to come here on their own, pay their own flight tickets, and they could get deal with whatever situation that we have. Of course, we try our best to provide what they want, and it's definitely, spend cost, but basically it's about the understanding each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah. Expectation and listening.
expectation and understanding each other.
It actually amazed me to have so many accommodations for 120 people.
Yeah,
here.
we're very lucky. I mean, I think that's also what I found very interesting about why we choose. Everyone was, I mean, lots of people were asking us to move this festival to other city, like, oh, we will pay for that, and I said no. First, this is where Paper Moon live. I want these artists, my friends, to know where we got the seeds come from, and this is because of this land. It's because we are in Jogja, and it was interesting because before this two past edition, we always do it in the center, city center, so more to the center because now we are more to the north, more to the city center, and we got supported by the French Institute. But just only one black box exists there, and it's hard to find another venues when the festival needs more, possibilities of stages. So it was until 2018 we still use that space, and we work with other coffee shops and we change it into theater space basically. But then it's very hard to find the hotel, like, because what we expect, we just want to have a walking distance hotel so that people can have their own freedom, they can take a rest, they want to join the event without we have to order car for them, or
Shuttle.
oh my god,
Yeah.
arranging
Okay.
transportation for each of them. It's crazy. So we were thinking, we know that because again, because we experienced that in another festival
Yeah.
Yeah.
as an artist who know what we need.
Yeah.
I think that makes this festival
Yeah.
shaped like this now.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all the. It's not compromising. It's the choice. I think.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
And also, it makes more sense to be here in Georgia.
Yeah,
Not in other city
Yeah.
because this is, as you know, this is where your resources and where your support.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's more
And it's
make more
again, it's
sense.
about payback to the community. I think.
That's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Because where we came from is also the same.
Mm,
Yeah, in Macau,
mm,
actually there's one black box there.
Yeah.
It's very hard to book. But then we moved to Palawan. It's
Yeah.
not really far away, but nothing's there.
right.
That's all the challenges we are facing is exactly ours. It's just our accommodation is too. I couldn't even offer the passport.
Wow.
The
Is it-
passports, you know, the passport programs from
Yeah.
the Unima.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's too hard for me. Like if I can pay one night. I would pay the artist to come.
Yes, of course.
Because this is so expensive to live in Macau. It's too small, that place. So, yeah. But anyway, we talked about
But
you
I
first.
think it's interesting to see what possible in each places. Like I think what is possible here might not be possible in other places, and what possible in
Yeah.
Charleville
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
not be possible here, or whatever possible in Montreal won't be possible at their place, and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
Like having that breakfast in the shore, it won't be possible in Montreal, for example.
Yeah.
Like because it came with a different soil, different
Yes.
source, and I think
Yes.
to understand what our strengths are.
Yeah.
So that's what I found. Okay, we are in Jogja. We have this limitation, but we always have to think about what is our strength as well, right? Like we're very lucky because wayang is always on the list of the history of puppetry, and I'm so sad because in one way Indonesian people maybe just only put it in a kind of like in a museum, I can say, like it preserved like that. But in another way, we found that it becomes our privilege as well as a puppet theater company that are not doing that. Maybe this answer your other question. Okay, we have this art form, amazing, beautiful, stay there forever. People want to come because of that. But then we take the advantage to like, hello, maybe you can share what you know to other people because you're also doing puppetry. You have an interest of traditional puppet theater, perfect. But now you can learn with that, but you have to share with us what you have and how we can learn each other as well. I think that's what the reason why we started Pesta Boneca in the beginning, because we catch these students that will learn wayang, and then we ask them, what is papier mache? Ah, oh, there is a technique like that? because we don't know at all. So that's what I found very interesting. Like, so maybe, and then people were saying like, yeah, but Jogja, looking at the landscape of the audience, for example, Jogja is a place for tourists, right? So if people, if
Visiting.
tourists come to Jogja, what do they want to see? Okay, Borobudur Temple, which is not exist in Jogja basically. It's outskirts of
Outside of
Jogja,
this,
right?
yeah.
What do they want to see? Like, okay, cultures and arts. What kind of culture and arts our government usually show to people? The traditional art form,
Wayang.
right? Or the, oh yeah, the beauty of this. Yes, that is right. But the daily life of the people, if I go abroad, if I wanna, I always want to see what is the local theater. What is I would love to watch like what is, like, I don't always want to go to museum. I also want to go to a little gallery,
Normal people.
right? Or maybe a music a bookshop maybe, or an antique shop, or a vintage store, or that's how we understand the culture of the people, or traditional market. So we have to catch that as well, in my opinion, as this festival can aim for those people. Once they come to Jogja, maybe they can have Pesta Boneka as their destination. And lots of our art people who loves people who works in art forms, like maybe theater people, they get rid that possibilities. They're not thinking tourists as part of their sharing knowledge possibilities. They're just seeing it as, this is like, tourists. They don't have they don't have the understanding of arts, like, so if, why not, right? Like, so our audiences, there are lots of them came from other cities, and they come to Jogja, and this is also perfect because Jogja has lots of choices of accommodation, for example, from the very cheap one, bunk bed, super super mega cheap, until one that is very expensive. Like, so there are plenty of, and it's a place that it's easy, and people can easily just come and be inspired with everything when you come to Jogja. And then they have the reason, okay, Pesta Boneka, so it's another destination. So I think that's also what we found, that we want to make this open for everyone. It's not just only for art people or people, like everyone. Everyone can have an access to join this festival, to enjoy this festival.
You saw some tourists in the audience. Yeah, last
Yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah. Some white guys.
Yeah, tourists doesn't mean always foreigners,
Mm-hmm.
but also those who came from other cities. Because Jogja is a destination for those people as well. Plenty from Jakarta, plenty from Bandung, plenty from local. They're like local tourists basically.
And talking about tourists, because we also come from a place in lots of tourists. Like, a very practical question. Like, how previous? I mean, how long before the festival did you do the publication so that these people maybe can plan this? Oh, okay, maybe I'll
So
go like that.
for our own publication, we have our own social media for Pesta Boneka, right? The open the ticket sales open a month before, but like the dates, we publish it since the beginning of this year. Like we already have the dates, even we don't have the venue first, but people can see from far far away that we have this and that.
So they can see the
Yeah, at
arrange
least
the
they
time
see,
before
oh,
that.
they'll do performance in October. For example, for this year, we already decide when will be the next 2 years festival.
Okay.
So me and Rere already discussed, because
But
again we are working with other like cultural center or embassy or stuff, and they would love to also prepare, right? So we have to decide further. But this is also very new. Before we
Yeah.
didn't have that.
Working with embassy is
Um,
another level, right?
yeah, and I think it's also it takes time.
Yeah.
You have to prove first, then they will get attracted. The same with government. We have to do it first in our own way. And for me, it's also very interesting because I never see puppetry artists, or being an artist is different with noodle seller on the street. You have to make your own cart. You have to try your own recipe first. You have to make your meatball. You have to choose what is the best ingredients on your own first. then you can serve it to people and make sure that this is good and they will taste it, it's good, then they will buy, right? We as an artist sometimes, government, government, government. Hey, they haven't seen what you're doing. We have to do it first. So I think
Yeah.
that's a mental that we have to keep, like we keep doing it until when people see it's important, it's good enough for them to support. It's because they see the results. And I think maybe in some countries they have a privilege to get support from seeding grants, middle grant, then a mega grant, whatever. We're not coming from that land, like. So I think it's also very important to understand what we can do first, without thinking about what other people can do for us first, because then it will come to us. If it's really right, if they know that it's good for them, they will support you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Reflection. And and I have a question about the audience. It's because I see mostly, except for those guests from international
Yeah.
guests, I see mostly the local audience as, for example, younger children, women, a young mother. But where is the men?
There are plenty,
Right?
Yeah, I saw.
You see?
plenty.
But of course,
It's less than the
less.
woman.
The percentage may be less, but
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that as that. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
a
Okay.
lot of mother and son.
A lot of
Yeah.
mother and son.
So this is what I found very interesting. Um, in Indonesia, we don't have ecosystem for theater for young audience. Children are not. We don't have habits to go to theater since very young, because there's no artist doing that for them.
So the kids going up, for example, to the school will not bring them to.
Never. There is no artworks for. There is no.
No children theater.
Nope. We don't have it.
Really,
Yep.
this is the most selling thing in the other parts of the world.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
this is a good business.
Yeah.
That's a good business. This is what we are trying to do now, because in the beginning when I started Paper Moon, it started with that question. If arts can shape people's heart, why we didn't have that since we were young, right?
Yeah.
And that's my biggest question at that time. So I decided to make Paper Moon with that art form of that it's allowed children to see the show. And at that time we just focused on children. We forgot that the parents never experienced that as well.
Yeah.
So when we always do it for the children, the parents didn't feel it's important for them. They will take the children away.
Yeah.
They will not take the children
Yeah.
go to the theater.
Yeah.
So we found that, then we have to do with the adults first. Then they will understand. Then once they have kids, they will bring their children to go to the theater. This is what I found very interesting. There are a
Yeah.
couple of theater company in Jogja performing for adults. But when the adults grow, or maybe they understand, but then when they know, yeah, arts is important for me. I want my kids also to go to theater. But there's no theater for children,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So